how fire this set came out. That is so fire. Like, you can't say it's not. Starting off, I did not cut my tips down at all. These are the full tips. And this is Young Nails Cover Pink, and I'm also using Young Nails Speed Clear. The fingers that have ombre, I put clear on the tips. Every other finger got a full coat of Cover Pink. That last step of getting that nice pointy stiletto needs to be allow that acrylic a little bit of time to cure before taking your both fingers and just pinching it, and that is going to give it that really sharp look to getting stiletto nails. For my ombre effect, all I'm doing is focusing my cover pink at the cuticle, covering over the natural nail that I can see underneath. Then I'm going to feather it out, and that is what's going to be the base of my ombre before I apply any clear acrylic. Taking clear acrylic at the point in which I started to feather out that cover pink, and then I'm going to work that down entirely and feather that out and then leave it at that. And you can see there that effect that it caused is going to be a gradient as opposed to it being so pigmented from the cover pink. Then down the entire nail, all I'm going to be doing is adding clear acrylic. Before I start working with my hearts, I put top coat and I don't cure it just so it's acting like basically double-sided tape for the hearts. That way when it cures, they're going to stay in the same spot. They're not going to move around and I really know where I'm working with. For the index finger, I put a base of red glitter and a swoop effect before I put down my hearts. That way it gives it some dimension before I move forward. For these two nails, it's just all about placement and how you want it to look. So that is just all I'm doing is placing the hearts accordingly. Now we're moving on to our index finger and gonna apply the Cover Pink as normal. I'm just really trying to show it up close on how to get that really nice stiletto shape. So you can see I'm placing the bead, I'm allowing it time to cure before I'm even thinking about touching it. And I'm still getting it even, making sure it's centered, taking it in between my fingers and just pinching it. That's all you have to do to get that shape, and it changes the look of the set entirely. And at this point, now that this has sat on the lamp, I'm going to be taking a pretty decent size clear bead and applying it over top. I'd put my clear bead on top heavy. I'm not saying heavy, but thick enough so that when I file, I don't even bother any of the hearts that I've placed. Same thing here. I forgot to put top coat, and you're going to see the difference it makes as far as how much harder it is to get the I keep saying flowers. For how much harder it is to get the hearts placed on the nail, how hard it is to turn them around. And I didn't realize it then, but it's because I did not put top coat. So again, I'm just placing these more sporadic. A French tip is going to go over this nail. So in my mind, I want it to look like it's underneath the French tip. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for here. Now that I've applied clear to all of them, because I am working basically with encapsulation, the way you file has to be very intentional because you don't want to overfile all that clear acrylic that you have placed and touched whatever is encapsulated underneath that clear, because once you touch it with that file, you're going to be able to notice that it has broken through the acrylic and been touched with the file because it's going to look scraped away. So, with that being said, obviously this nail I'm just shaping more regular because it has nothing on it. My design will come when I do the French tip for this finger. But for all of the other fingers, I'm keeping that in mind until I'm finished and ready for my nail art. On this index finger, I'm doing a deep French tip, and I did not top coat any of these nails first. I don't feel like I needed to because everything is going to be pretty straightforward with my nail art and things like that. That's going over top of the encapsulation. This finger is getting an XO, so I'm taking a fine liner brush and making my X. When I want to do bigger letters, I always do them at a sideways angle because they're able to look a lot longer. When you're working with longer nails, you want to keep in mind you want to fill up the space. You don't want the letters to be so small they're unreadable. So by doing bigger letters to the nail size, they look more proportioned and exaggerated. when I'm doing nail art, I would love to be able to do multiple nails and then have the client cure. That's just not how I'm cut yet. So I am someone who cures every step of the way. So the index finger got cured, this finger's gonna get cured before I move on. That way, me or the client doesn't mess up the nail art and then I have to spend more time doing it down the line. Then from here, all I'm doing is another deep French tip on the pinky. To my liking, everything is going to get top coated, and this is when the design really is able to peek through fully because the top coat is basically like the cherry on top and it allows that glossy finish. Once I have cured it, I'm able to go back and add whatever crooked lines I might see. I'm able to go back and add a little bit more polish, and that is what I think helps me a lot with doing lettering or nail art and things like that. I'm never too I'm never too fixated on what it looks like initially because I know I can always go back and add more. That's what I'm doing here, just to smoothen out those lines. Smoothing, is that a word? Just to smooth out those lines and get things a little bit more crisp to my liking. This finger is going to get a little charm just so it's not bare, it has something going on, and it makes it a little bit more extra out. And then every finger got filed underneath just to make it a little bit crisper, and that was literally my whole entire set.